Another leadership vacancy tonight at Community Action Duluth. Interim board chair Salam Witherspoon has resigned, the latest in a string of board departures during the state investigation into the organization's finances.
Well, tonight we're also getting our first look at CAD's plans to tighten up its ship. Community Action Duluth recently submitted a detailed action plan to state officials promising sweeping reforms across operations, finances, and management.
In Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson has led our investigation and just obtained these documents. Kyrie, what are they promising here?
Yeah, Dan and Laura, a quality improvement plan, or a QIP, outlines specific actions and goals to enhance organizational quality with designated deadlines and responsible parties. But according to state policy, a QIP is the last step before funding termination or reduction. For Community Action Duluth, the stakes couldn't be higher. This investigation began with farmers market vendors alleging unpaid invoices in November. Over the past few months, CAD has acknowledged the payment delays, but blamed reimbursable grant funding challenges. The organization now promises to hire an additional grants manager and implement new financial tracking systems to prevent future delays. But staff turnover presents a bigger challenge. Dozens of employees have resigned in recent months, including multiple board members. Most recently, I confirmed that interim board chair Salam Witherspoon has now stepped down. The QIP states that CAD must fill 15 board seats by April 30th. What's striking about CAD's response is that rather than simply complying, the organization pushes back. In nearly every category, CAD demands the state provide evidence to back up its claims. Regarding the statement that farmers markets were abruptly ended in October 2025 without proper notification, CAD does not agree with this characterization and requests that OEO provide the specific evidence relied upon to substantiate this claim. On workplace complaints, they write, because this QIP item is framed as staff reported and staff have communicated, CAD requests specific documentation supporting these assertions. And on the overall process itself, CAD argues the state jumped to conclusions. Quote, the QIP includes multiple assertions described as reported concerns, yet CAD was not provided any underlying documentation or evidence. CAD argues the escalation violates the state's own policy. A QIP should only follow serious or unresolved non-compliance. CAD goes on to raise a bigger concern. They say its woman of color-led leadership has faced disproportionate scrutiny compared to similar organizations. The group is demanding the state apply an explicit equity lens to its oversight. We did reach out to state regulators for comment on CAD's allegations of unfair scrutiny. We're waiting to hear back. The organization's leadership also says that recent media coverage doesn't tell the full story, and they're focused on demonstrating compliance through action. You can find all of my previous reporting on this topic on our website. In studio, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.